Emma Hinze there in that turquoise jersey. Just a little bit further down the track, Lauren Jeunesse at the top of the track, nearest our shot.
I think that graphic said Emma Hinze versus Dennis Dimitri.
It did.
That's a surprise.
As fascinating as that round would be, I don't think that's what we're going to see today.
I don't know. Maybe it's a Chupa Chup competition a little bit later on. I'll have the Coca-Cola flavour, please. Lauren Jeunesse, it is then with the burden, I think it's fair to say, of trying to unpick Emma Hinze. Yeah,
well, what an opportunity, though. And Canadian track cycling is really, really on the up. They had a velodrome built in Milton a few years ago. For a very long time, they had no indoor velodrome in the whole of Canada, and it's fascinating to see how well the riders have been developing. Kelsey Mitchell, the teammate, of course, won the Olympic Games, gold medal there in the sprint competition. And Lauren Jeunesse here is up against the world champion. So, yeah, you just got to grab these opportunities and go with it.
It's almost unkind that in sprint racing, where tactics are so much to the fore, that really it all counts for this. At the moment, the strongest position is Lauren Jeunesse. The Canadian just tracing Hinze as we speak, and there is the view that Hinze will be taking, looking backwards. I mentioned it before, but there's a lot of practice goes on with circulating on a track while looking backwards, and when you come to something of unfamiliar geometry, and all tracks, despite the fact that at the bottom they have to be 250, well, not all of them are. You know, if you've been to Ghent, you'll know what I'm talking about. There are shorter tracks, 6-day specialist tracks indeed. However, the inclines of the banking do vary, and indeed even the rolling resistance of the surface can actually be different. So each track has its own character, and you factor in, of course, the heating within the velodromes, and whatever the air pressure is, it all has an impact. So then, two mighty contestants right now. Hinze should have this, but Jeunesse left herself some rush room. Wise to it. Hinze picks it up and she goes for it. Now then, down the back straight. They've heard that final lap announced. It's a big, big move if you want to come through. And right now, the leader overall looks like she owns it, and does.
Yeah, brilliant work there by Hinze of Germany, showing why she is the leader in this competition. But Jeunesse really pushed her all the way, but she had the longer way to come round there. So she was sort of on the hip for a while, and of course it is slightly longer to be on the outside on the velodrome. And there was a moment where I thought she might get it, I thought she might have a sort of second kick there in her to put a little bit more power down, but it was the multiple world champion Emma Hinze there. Just seeing sort of Kelsey Mitchell there cheering on her teammate. Absolutely love to see that. So Kelsey Mitchell missing out on this final, the Olympic sprint